Hello, hi. I'm Carly Clayson Gleason, Jai Gary's director. This is artist Marcus Cruz. Hello, Marcus.
Hi, thanks for having me here today.
You're very welcome. Marcus, I would like you to talk a little about your work and your medium.
Okay, my medium, metal, mostly. Started working with aluminum and stainless steel and some semi-precious metals. I think I work with metal for many different reasons. One, I guess, is the fulfillment of having just a sheet of metal and creating something from it, cutting it, welding it, figuring out how to put it together to tell a story. And also, I think it's because I want to create something that would outweather, that is strong, that would last, that could be kept forever.
You remind me of the original creator. You know, you start with almost nothing and transform it, and then you want it to last. You know, I love this vision. Why did you choose? Why did you choose particular metals? How do you select your metals?
Well, it depends, and they're not always budget oriented. For example, aluminum and this new acid technique that I discovered or stumbled into, it allows to bring out colors from the material that otherwise would not be there without using paints. So to explore this further, I've engaged into producing more art with that material so I can continue growing and understanding these chemical reactions that create these beautiful colors.
So you like experimenting with different techniques?
I think the entire career of an artist is experimentations, and within that you might commit a mistake, and then you just learn how to repeat the mistake and control the mistake.
So it's a learning process for you.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Talk to me a little about the technology you use and how important it is into actually shaping your work.
Yes, for many years I did what we call free-forming, which is you make a jig or you just trace a line on the sheet of metal, and then you cut it with either your plasma cutter or whatever other tool you have to cut metal with. But recently, I've changed to doing drawings on 3D in the computer, and then taking that information, those lines, and work with them in a 3D realm in the computer so I can adjust it before I export all those lines to produce a piece. Now, how I do that is by flattening the surfaces and cutting it through a machine. It's called CNC, which is a numeric computer control machine that cuts the pieces for me to then create the sculpture.
So we talked about the technological kind of aspects, but what about the what's your inspiration, and how important is the subject matter in your work?
Well, it's very important, and it's not always easy to put the narrative behind the piece, especially when I do abstract work, which is a great thing too because it opens for interpretation. And my body of work is based on that. It's based on how we all see life in a different way. So by producing objects that could be visualized differently from different perspectives, it allows me to tell the story that life doesn't change, the subject does not change, but the way we see it does. Now within that, then I tell other stories, for example, like my sunflower collection, where the sunflower is created by the shapes around it, as we are created by all our influences in life, creates who we become. Now that does not dictate our drive. Like the sunflower, she or he won't wait for the sun to arrive. You chase the sun. And what I'm trying to say with that is we have to be proactive and chase our dreams.
How important is your role in society, you as an artist, you with your visions and your drive?
Well, I think that is my responsibility to apply to my art and for it to be informed by the public. How I do that is by everyday life, experiences that we have. So I try my best to get those experiences and somehow incorporate them into the work.
So I see a lot of organic shapes in your work. Your most recent collection is entitled The World. you seem to be very concerned about the environment. Would you say this is the next step for your work?
I think we all are. I think we all are concerned about our environment, because I think we're in a times now that we start to realize the effects that we impose in the environment, and we're trying to make an effort to correct that. And I think that for most part we all are in the same direction.
So you do this with the subject matter of your work, but also with your working techniques, right? You try to be kind to the environment.
Yes, yes. One of the other reasons why I use aluminum as well is because most aluminum is already recycled aluminum.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It costs less to recycle aluminum than to create new aluminum.
Mm-hmm. So Marcos, this is something very interesting about you as well. You're some kind of genius, and you're always dreaming new technologies to try and improve daily life too.
Well, there's many problems that we face in our society, and we just have to sit down and think ways of solving it. Will any of my ideas ever get to solve something? Hopefully. But hopefully somebody else can also engage in that matter and find solutions.
Thank you very much, Marcos Cruz.
Thank you.